Welcome everyone to another Marvel Crisis Protocols unboxing. Today it's Cable and Domino. So I've always been a big fan of Cable in the comics, in the cartoons, and of course now in the new Deadpool film, or new-ish Deadpool film. And he's always had a bit of a tie-in with Deadpool in a few different stories. I think this guy's great. I think he looks wicked, and he looks very much like the Cable I remember growing up. So is Domino. Domino has always been in a bit of a background, not really interested in her at all. But in the new Deadpool 2 film, she is pretty damn cool. So obviously she is modelled as per comics and cartoons, not the film. So I probably will paint her up as the box art. Although it would be pretty cool to have a big afro on her, but still. Yes, this is a Christmas present, and no, I didn't buy it for myself. It is a wonderful time of year where it's pretty much the only time of year that we don't buy plastic minis for ourselves, but we try to get our loved ones to do it for us. So I hope you guys are having a bit of a time off, a bit of a chill out and relaxing. Maybe some extra time off work would be nice. So yeah, you wonderful people, hope you're staying safe. And let's get into this box. And then we can laugh at Ross trying to get into some packaging. So, what do we know about Cable and Domino? So, if you haven't seen the film of Deadpool 2, and you don't know who these people are, so Cable, on the back of the box, you can pause it and read it if you like, but it says Cable, the son of the Cable, the son of the X-Men leader Cyclops, was sent to the far future to save his life when he was infected by the deadly techno-organic virus. So it doesn't actually say anything about Jean Grey, but this is Jean and Scott Summers, Cyclops and Jean Grey's son. Most of the time when they meet him in the comics and the cartoons, they don't know who he is, other than he's called Cable, and he's definitely from the future. So from the 38th century, I think it is. And he's got some pretty cool gadgets and gizmos. He can make some great weaponry, but it's not just his technical expertise. He has a metal arm, very much like Winter Soldier. And yes, he's a bad mofo. But it's not just the tech that makes him so good. He does have some psychic powers as well. It all seems a little bit low end, not as much as Jean, but you can tell that that's where he gets it from. And this guy is just he looks military trained. He always seems to be just damn cool. He's a bit of a leader of rebels in the future. Apocalypse always comes up in the storyline, and he tries to thwart him, trying to crush him, and try to return the world as it should be. And there's always stories with different virus outbreaks and things like that. And in Deadpool 2, spoiler alert, his wife in the future gets killed, and he tries to change that future as well. So this guy is cool. Yes, the tech, the guns, the fact that he can teleport, that's all technology and psychic shield like this guy is actually equipped with. That looks so good. So good. But Domino, to be fair, I didn't really follow Domino at all into the films, and I was like, actually, maybe I should have put more time into her. She's pretty cool. She's had several run-ins with Deadpool as well. Basically, she is super, super, super lucky. It always goes her way. And in the film, they say it's not a special power, a superpower. It definitely is. She's incredibly lucky. So, Nina Thurman is her real name. And apparently she was a product of a government experiment, but she escaped. So she's not a bad person at all, even though the government tried to use her as a weapon. So yeah, check out the comics these guys have been featured in. Any of the cartoons, they are so cool. So she's a bit cheeky, she's pretty cool, whereas he just never smiles. He seems to be just a bit mean. In a good way, he's not a bad guy at all. But in the films, he is so cool. And of course, he's also Thanos. So yeah, great actor. So yeah, one of his best roles ever. Whoa, hang on, not one of his best roles ever. Sorry, he was also in the Goonies. So Josh Brolin was in the Goonies, possibly his best role ever. Then I would say possibly Cable, and then Thanos. All joking aside, the outtakes for the film is brilliant. Him and Ryan Reynolds, a lot of love there, I reckon. So, that's these guys. Enough of me waffling on. You don't really care too much about the background. You care about the rules, right? So, what do we have in the box? We have Destructions. As per always, pretty well detailed. They never seem to have too many mold lines on these guys. I mean, if you're not too fussy, it's not much of a problem. You might need a tiny bit of green stuff, and I do recommend plastic glue to squidge in a few of the little gaps. Not too bad on this. I've recently assembled Sabretooth, and he had a bit of a crack on the side of his bum. But yeah, so you got optional cloak or rifle. Tough, cool. I think the cloak looks cool. The cloak looks cool. It looks a bit more epic, a bit more cinematic when you see the cloak wafting in the breeze there. And yeah, the little force field up there. That's cool as well. And Domino, yeah, it looks like she is riding a chunk of rock after an explosion. That's the only thing probably keeping her alive, because she's just lucky like that. But yeah, pretty basic, nothing too strenuous. I'll get it out of the packaging in a second. So Cable, choice of 2 large bases. Domino, choice of 4, very nice. I do use that one probably a bit too much, so I might go with a nice flat piece, purely because she's surfing on a large rock. Detail on these miniatures, it's always pretty good. I mean, like, the newer models look good. So this one is number, checking the box, 47 of their releases. The core box, I've painted Zemo recently, and I found the detail was a little bit lacking compared to the render picture online, like around his hood and stuff. But it's pretty damn good. You know, you can see the detail on the grenades, the X on his chest. They're not bad. They're not bad. I mean, Games Workshop stuff's possibly a little bit better, but the newer stuff from Atomic Mass Games for Crisis Protocol is really getting there. It wasn't bad in the initial core box, but it has definitely improved. I mean, look at the detail there on his ankle. It's pretty swish, pretty swish. So Domino is a bit more slight. I'm not going to mention the obvious. But now the details are good on the straps, on the legs, on the explosion there. Really nice miniatures to slot together. It is a hard-ish plastic, but I have dropped 1 or 2 in Detto, and for some reason, like, a base is slightly softened and things like that. So it seems to be slightly random. They don't all seem to be the same. But yeah, they're pretty good. If you're using paint stripper, if you have to repaint them for whatever reason, it's not bad. It really isn't bad. I mean, I'm quite a forgetful person, and I have forgotten about models I've left in Detto before. Like GW models, I have left in Detto for months sometimes. I was actually going to be nice and say weeks, but no, the truth is it was months, and thankfully it hasn't melted. So always be a bit careful when using strippers, as in paint strippers, I might add. And Detto, obviously, because I'm tight, I'm cheap, and I kind of like the smell of it, to be fair. I know a lot of people don't. But we'll get into the rules now. The rules are the important bit, right? So, who do we have here? We have, zoom in. It's important to make the noise. It doesn't work unless you make the noise. So Cable, Nathan Summers. Hence, Scott Summers, Jean Summers, when she gets married to Scott. Spoiler alert. So, this guy is a 5-pointer. So he's going to be pretty good, right? He's going to be pretty good. So 6 health. Yeah, okay. Not amazing, but he is mostly humanoid. You know, he's not like he's made of metal or anything like that. So, yeah, okay. 6 is probably about right. It would be nice if it was more, but he's not superhuman. It's not all about physical endurance to him. He has a small movement. He is size 2 because he's just like a normal size person. Even though he's got a metal arm, it's not like Wolverine when his whole body's got metal. He's not crazy heavy. So he's got 3 physical defense, 3 energy defense, and 4 because he's slightly better on the old psychic front because of his mum. 4 on the old mystic. So his first attack is a plasma rifle, which, funny enough, is using energy. It is range 5, 5 dice, so 5 strength, 0 cost. It's the standard one that most people have. After this attack is resolved, this character gains energy equal to the amount of damage dealt. Pretty good. Range 5 is nice. You know, if you're going to get what I call a strike, most people have something 0 cost that gains them energy. It's not normally range 5. It's pretty good. I mean, I've seen 5 dice before, but it's normally like range 2 or something like that, maybe even range 3. Range 5 is strong in this game, really, really strong, and has Incinerate. So if you get a wild, Incinerate after this attack is resolved, the target character gains the Incinerate special condition. So if you don't know what Incinerate does, it's when a character, when it makes its next defense roll, is rolling 1 fewer dice. So for example, if I was Cable and I shot Cable, so normally had 3 defense dice on energy against this plasma rifle attack. Next time, because it's suffering from Incinerate, it'd be rolling 2 dice. I think it's really strong. I mean, the initial hit, yeah, okay, it's okay. But you got to think long term. If you're really going to wail on a certain character, having an Incinerate on them is really, really, really good. Right, so the next attack is a Mystic attack. So, it's a Scony Son, which I am probably butchering. But basically, the clan that Cable was raised by in the future was the Ascani. So, if I've completely butchered it, I'm sorry. So the Ascani Son is a aura of 2. So all the way around him, he has an aura of 2. 7 dice on the strength, which is pretty good. But it is 6 dice, which is crazy. So for each attack that deals damage after the attack is removed 1 damage from this character. So for each attack that deals damage after the attack is resolved. So it doesn't mean for each damage dealt, it means for each attack that deals damage. So let's say there's 3 models around, it can only heal 3 if all 3 of them were injured. But what's the chances that people are going to get that close to him? So you probably have to move in place and let this happen. It's still very strong, but 6 dice, I'm not sure how often I'm going to use it. And you can tell it's a psychic thing because of the symbol there, the mystic symbol there. Because obviously it has some psychic powers. So we'll get into his affiliation with X-Force. So if he was the leader for X-Force, each allied character may reroll 1 die for the attack rolls once per turn. So it's pretty strong. It's not bad. It's an all-rounder. It's not like Cap that reduces power or anything like that. So once the attack happens, you can reroll 1 of those dice for free. So if you hit all of them, you don't need to reroll, so it's kind of wasted. But it's always nice to have a bit more, security there. So that plasma rifle, 5 dice. You can always reroll 1 with his own Wetworks ability. So the reason I picked up Cable is A, he's cool, and B, I've got Deadpool, I've got Wolverine, I've got Sabretooth, lots of regeneration there, which is really, really nice. Plus I liked the models, and I've always liked the characters. Way back when, back into the 90s. I'm not going to say before that, because, I'm really young, right? Yeah, but if you don't know, they are all X-Force, or can be X-Force. So I thought, why not get Cable, or get someone to get me Cable. But this thing's really good. Re-rolling an ability is always nice, plus I like to play Fluffy. Which is probably not hyper competitive. I haven't played in any tournaments yet. Locally there is a few tournament places. I should get my button gear and do that. Maybe in the new year. But I thought it was nice to be thematic, and then re-rolling a dice is always good, especially with my luck as well. So, I really like these cards, and I really like Marvel Crisis Protocol because of the fluff. Things like body slide by 1, which is what he's always saying to the computer in his arm in the comics. So, place this character within range 2 of its current position. This superpower can only be used once per turn, which is just as well, because you can break the game. So it costs 2, so if you really need to get somewhere, you could do that. Now you're in range, you could shoot twice, for example. You don't have to spend one of your actions to move, which is always handy. It's always pretty good. It's place this character, which makes sense thematically. So yeah, it's good. It's pretty strong. Omega level threat. So this character may spend 1 to 4 energy while paying the cost of this superpower. Choose an interactive terrain feature within range 3 with a size equal or less to the energy spent. So you could throw a 4. If you want to put 4 points in there, you could throw a terrain feature of 4, which is pretty nice. You throw the terrain feature range medium, and you can only do it once per turn. Still good, still good. There's not many things out there that can throw size 4, for example. So if you've got a bit of a chunky Juggernaut or Hulks coming at you, they have changed it recently. There's less things out there that can throw 3s. There's certainly less things out there that can throw 4s. Yeah, you won't be doing it every round, but it's pretty good. You don't want to spend 4 points every round to start throwing some big stuff around, but it's a nice tool to have. It is a nice tool to have. So, it is choose an interactive terrain feature. So it's not pick a model and throw it as well, which is a bit of a shame. So I take that back. So Omega level threat. This character may spend 1 to 4 energy when paying the cost of this superpower. Choose an interactive terrain feature within range 3 with a size equal or less than the amount of energy spent to use this superpower. Throw the chosen terrain feature medium. This superpower can only be used once per turn. Very strong, very good. There's not many things out there that can throw size 4 pieces of terrain. I mean, this would be incredibly broken if you could throw size 4 characters, for example. But no, it's still really, really good, especially with the new rules. Throwing size 3 or more, it was limited slightly with the updates. So with a 4, that's really strong. It's really nice. You won't be doing it all the time because there shouldn't be too many size 4 pieces on the table, so you won't be spending 4 points. But you can still throw other pieces of terrain, which is always nice. But it's not characters, so it's not breaking the game, but it's pretty nice that he can do that with his obviously psychic powers. Telekinetic Shield. So cost 2. When this character or an allied character within range 3 of this character is targeted by an attack, this character may use this superpower. Add 2 dice to the target character's defense roll against this attack. So it's not just him, it's any other model within range 3, and it's before the dice are rolled. So cost 2 to add 2 more dice. That's nice. That is nice. So if you've got characters out there that have like reduced damage by 1, for example, like your Colossus or something, it's pretty good on defense rolls anyway. So adding extra dice is always nice. And it's not massively costly either. So he is a bit of a protector as well with his telekinetic shield. It's not all about him. So now we come to his passive abilities, his innate abilities. So techno-organic virus suppression. During the power phase, this character gains 1 additional energy. Always good. Can't argue with that. Just like Doctor Strange, gaining more energy, always really, really nice. So, straight off the bat, first turn, has 2 energy before he does anything else. So you could use the body slide by 1 straight away, move range 2, and then put 2 shots of his plasma rifle in and really start wailing on somebody, generating some energy for the following turn, and getting an Incinerate out there for 2 lots, and getting to roll 1 dice because of his affiliation. He's bound to get 1 wild, surely. So in essence, it's 10 dice, and you get to reroll 2 of them. Bound to get 1 wild in there, surely. And he has immunity to poison, which is never bad. Never, never, never bad. Especially if someone's playing someone like Viper, or maybe Omega Red. So, on the healthy side, he had 6 health. On the injured side, he's slightly knocked off. He now has 7. But I think the rest of it is exactly the same. So he still has the body slide by 1. The wet works obviously stays with him. The Omega level threat. Everything is the same apart from he gets 1 additional health. I think it's pretty nice. I did notice one thing actually. For the Ascani's son, rather than just healing, he now has slightly more in the box. I do apologise. So he does the exact same thing, but if you get a wild and you get a hit, you get stagger. After each attack is resolved, the target character gains the staggered special condition. So stagger, for those who don't know, the character with first activation that's suffering from stagger has to shake off that special condition before it does anything. So it has to get rid of it before it does anything. So you could be on an objective that allows you to shake off, you can do that, or you spend energy to shake it off as you would any other condition. It's just more of an annoyance than anything. It really does mean that that person has to do something to get rid of it, be it spend energy or whatever. They're spending resources of some kind. It's pretty irritating. That's nice. Staggering somebody and incinerating them, they're not going to like that. Keep stacking up those conditions. That's quite nice. Still, I probably wouldn't pay that on his healthy side. 6 is quite expensive. But I mean, you don't have to take him as the leader. You could always have him with, let's say, Steve Rogers, Captain America. And you can reduce that to 5. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, obviously he can work in other affiliations. And that's not a bad affiliation for him, because he generates an additional energy every turn anyway. So putting him with defenders probably isn't a bad pick. But I do like Cable, like the model, do like the rules. Is he worth a 5? I'm not sure. I'll play him a few times and see what I think. I think I'll just play him anyway, just because he just looks boss. I'll zoom in a little bit more, be easier on the eyes for you guys. Hey, it rhymes. So Domino is a 3. So she has 5 health, medium movement, size 2, and the generic 3/3/3 on the defences. So she has automatic pistols. So I'm expecting lots and lots of lucky stuff with her, because that's what she's like in the fluff. So range 3, 4 dice, and 0 cost. So after this attack is resolved, this character gains 1 energy. So it's not for every damage, she automatically gains 1 energy. So for 4 dice, that's pretty nice. It's only a range 3, but they're pistols, right? So if you get a hit, just a hit, you gain rapid fire. Should be fairly easy to get, especially if you are with X-Force. You know, you're re-rolling 1 dice, 4 dice. What you do is got to get a hit. There you go. After this attack is resolved, this character may make 1 additional automatic pistol attack. The additional attack must target the original target and does not have the rapid fire special rule. So if you shoot somebody, you can shoot them again, but you can't shoot them again. Not like Deadpool, which has bang, 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 bang. Still good. Still pretty nice. It's 4 dice. Yeah, it is what it is. But it doesn't even have to injure anybody to gain energy, so might as well just shoot. So it's good. Grenade bounce, range 4, 4 dice, only 1 energy. That's pretty good. This attack ignores line of sight, and the defending character does not gain the benefit from cover. That's definitely good. So if they're on the other side of a building, you can't see them, it's still going to happen anyway, and they can't get cover. So, Incinerate. After this attack is resolved, the target character gains the Incinerate special condition. Now you notice there is no symbol next to Incinerate, so it just happens. They just get Incinerate. So, that's nice. But if there is a wild, you do get Explosive. Before damage is dealt, other enemy characters within range 2 of the character suffers 1 damage. So you could damage somebody, it's pretty cool. Gonna incinerate them, and there's a chance other characters around basically suffer damage because of the explosion, which is a grenade. So what did you expect? It's the fact that it ignores line of sight, it only costs 1, and they don't get cover, and it throws out Incinerate. It's a range 4 as well, so that's pretty tasty. It's pretty tasty. I mean, she's not the most survivable person in the world, looking at the base stats, but I'm sure there's something in a minute that will say otherwise. So then we have Lucky Shot, which is another energy attack. It's range 3, 6 dice, and it is 3 energy. The target character does not gain energy for damage dealt by this attack. That's pretty good. So certain characters out there really want that energy. They're going to get right up at the front. Like Colossus is going to be energy starved. You're going to keep making him get shot, basically. So then he gets even better. So yeah, if you don't gain energy and you're up front, what was the point in getting hit, kind of thing? So if you do roll a wild, the character is also stunned. That's nice. So stun, for those who don't know, so normally when you suffer damage, you gain energy for the number of damage dealt. Stun means you can only ever, unless you shake off that condition, generate 1 energy. So for example, a character moves up the table, let's say Ant-Man, just because randomness, moves up the table, and you shoot him, and let's say you damage him for 2, he would then generate 2 energy, but he only generates 1. So they'll still generate 1 energy with stun, but it really does, like I was saying, if it was Doctor Strange really, really wants that energy. And if there's ways that you can limit them, and they can't do any of their special abilities, stun is really nice. So yeah, it's only range 3, it costs 3, which isn't the end of the world. It's 3 dice, and you really are fishing for those wilds. But with Wet Works, hopefully that's going to happen. So she also has Probability Manipulation. After this character rolls attack, defense, or dodge dice, but before the resolve crits step, so if you roll a crit dice, you could then roll another dice, it may spend any amount of energy to use this superpower. For each energy spent, choose 1 skull to treat it as a crit for the remainder of the attack. Really good, really good. Yes, there's only 1 skull on a D8, but I seem to find them almost every time. That's pretty good. So if you're really, really hoping for an attack to finish somebody off, and you roll all skulls, you might as well spend some energy to change those odds, right? So I'll zoom out just a little bit so you can read that. So things tend to go my way, which is what she says in the films and in the cartoons and comics. When this character is attacking or defending enemy characters, do not roll additional dice for the crit results in their attack or defense. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So if someone rolls a handful of crits, no, they're just regular hits. They're still good, still regular hits, but it's not additional attacks, for example. So on the flip side, we have 5 health, 5 health. Not a lot has changed with her stats there. Automatic pistols are exactly the same. Grenade is the same. Lucky Shot is the same. Everything is the same, but for 3 points, she's not bad. I probably would leave her in X-Force. because the roll on the table for her, I mean, she's not super fast. She's not super survivable, but spamming those Incinerates out there, hopefully if people are bunching up, you can get some explosive shots. If they're hiding behind pieces of terrain, you can't see them, you can with her. If they're in cover, cover doesn't matter. So she's got some nice tech, but I think keeping her in X-Force and re-rolling that one dice, especially with Lucky Shot. Lucky Shot, you're going to want to stun somebody, but with range 3, you have to be pretty close. Yes, it is 6 dice, but like I said, she's not massively survivable. It's only 5 health. Her defense isn't amazing. Yeah, she might get some skulls, which, you know, she can turn to crits. Not a problem there. But yeah, range 3, 6 dice, you are really, really hoping for 1 wild. So if you can turn one of those dice with the Wetworks ability through X-Force, if you can get it into a stun, brilliant. Brilliant, keep fishing for those stuns. So yeah, she's definitely got some tricks to her. Terrain doesn't matter. And I think if she ever got into combat, you've done something wrong. So don't get her into combat. Keep her at range 3 if you can, basically. But yeah, nice looking model. I'm sure there's 3D printing companies out there that probably make an alternative head for her, so you can make it look more like movies. But no, I will probably paint her up as the box art, and she's pretty cool. But Cable, for me, is why I got this box. Right, so we've gone through the character cards. Now we've got Team Tactics cards. We also have the X-Force card. So, when this came out, Colossus wasn't even really announced, I would imagine. He might have been mentioned, but no one knew what his cards were. So seeing Colossus on there at the time probably blew people's minds. So I'm a little bit behind the times. I wasn't going to pick up this game initially, because time, and I did pick up a Marvel game previously, which collapsed. But I was like, no, not going to do it, not going to do it. Play the demo, love the game. Of course it's Marvel, so I'm all in. But I'm catching up with everybody in the Southwest, I think. But it seems quite popular still. People are still picking up boxes for brothers or loved ones, trying to get them addicted. And they will. You know they will. So in X-Force, we have Cable, which we know about. We know we got Domino, because it says so on the cards. And I mentioned briefly Wolverine and Sabretooth and Deadpool, so that's really nice. And now we know Colossus is in there, which is nice. Nice. So yeah, Deadpool definitely has some nice cards when working with X-Force. So you can give members stealth, which is pretty nice. So you have to be, I think that specific stealth is within range 2 as well, so that's quite hardcore. If you need to target somebody, you have to get within range 2. Domino, you definitely would want to get within range 2 to beat the tar out of her. But Sabretooth, you may think twice. So, first Team Tactics card, we have Cat and Mouse. It's for X-Force only. It is reactive. After all characters have been deployed, an X-Force character may play this card. Place this character within range 2 of its current position. This character cannot make more than one action during its next activation. Okay, it's pretty good. If someone's got a bead on you and you think they're going to do something, you can always put them further back. You don't have to play them further forward. So we have a Dirty Work, which is X-Force only. It's active. So in the background there, at the time we didn't have X-23 either, but that to me looks very much like X-23. And we know in present times, X-23 is definitely a miniature that's coming out. We have seen her model, we have definitely seen those cards. An allied X-Force character may spend 3 energy to play this card. Mark the enemy character with the highest threat value with a target token. If the marked character is dazed or KO'd this round by an allied X-Force character, all allied X-Force characters gain 2 energy. Nice! So there's no range on that either. So you put it on somebody and you manage to take them out, everybody's going to get more energy. If there's a tie for the highest threat value, choose one of the tied characters to receive the target token. It's got to be the highest though. So yeah, be a bit careful. Like if you've got like a Thanos out there or something and he's taken down, or a Dormammu, it's not going to be that easy. So maybe play it when they're on like their last health. Okay, Warpath. Unaffiliated. Good picture of Colossus there. I like the artwork. So it's a reactive card. After an attack that's damaged an ally character is resolved, the damaged character may spend 1 energy to play this card. This character may advance small towards the attacking character. That's cool. So if you really need to get in there, Wolverine is pretty short-legged, so maybe play it with him. Recalibration Matrix. So, picture of Domino there playing dice, which is probably not a good idea. Unaffiliated. It's a reactive card. When an allied character is attacking or defending before the calculate success or failure step, at the end of the modify dice step of the attack, it may spend 3 energy to play this card. Better be good. The attacking and defending characters reroll all of their attack and defense dice. It's attacking and defending. So if you were throwing an attack in and you completely hammed all of it, yeah, do it. Or if you did a fairly average roll and they did an amazing roll and it really, really mattered, do it. And vice versa, if you're defending and you completely messed up that roll. Is it worth 3 energy though? Well, if you're in trouble and you're holding an objective token, yeah, quite possibly. Right, so we have a mission. So it is a 14-pointer. So I don't think I have any 14 points in my deck so far. So sword establishes a base on Moon Blue area. Right, so place 3 console, a target of opportunity tokens on map C. The player controlling the most scores 3 in the cleanup phase. So 3 console tokens, you've got to hold 2, and that's 3 points. That is pretty pricey. We'll zoom in to read the rest. So it's an interactive. If no enemy characters are contesting the console, you are now controlling the console. If 1 or more enemy characters are contesting the console, roll a dice. The result is a crit, wild, or a hit. You are now controlling the console. If the player controlling the console during the power phase, there's more than their opponent. They control the security systems and in the base, and may choose an enemy character. The chosen character is pushed small. Okay, so you can nudge some enemies around with it. That's pretty good. And it's 3 victory points. So it's on map C. So you've got to be pretty confident you can get there for 3 victory points because it's the person holding the most. So it's good. It's good. But people like Wolverine got short legs. So maybe, I don't know. Depends what your roster is. So really happy with these cards. Love the cable model from the word go. And I'm just happy Domino's in the set. If it wasn't, I still would have picked up the box anyway. And she's pretty good. Like I said, if there's a lot of terrain on the table, she can ignore it. But if she's in close quarters, then I think she's pretty much going to bite the dust. But yeah, cable, definitely fluff equals rules there. And I do like a few tie-ins, like the body slide by 1. Brilliant. Love it. So you'll soon definitely see these guys assembled and hopefully painted and on our tabletop. So we'll be playing some Marvel Crisis Protocol battle reports soon. I have my 10-man list painted up. I know Marcus is eager to paint a couple more up. I think he's on 8 models at the moment because we want to play with painted models. So the last model he painted was Iron Fist, and boy does it look good. So hopefully get to see him on the table soon. So take care, you lovely people, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye guys.